Hey, how's it going? It's Tim Brown, and this is the Hook Better Lead podcast. And today we're talking about how to get your salespeople to ask for referrals with Jamey Vumback. Am I saying that right, Jamey?
Yes, you are. Yes. Good to be here,
Get
Tim.
The Referral. Yeah. Thank you so much. So Jamey is from Get The Referral. Jamey, give us a little synopsis of why you have this badass app and what in your story led you to this current venture.
Thanks, Tim, for having me. And yeah, for sure. I own my own solar company, right? So it's the old saying, it was built by a contractor for contractors, right? I had a problem, and I wanted to increase my referral business. And, I came up, the old light bulb moment and said, oh, wow, why don't we have an app to connect with our customers? And that's really where it started and built a business around solving that problem. How do I communicate and engage with my customers from the point of sale to the delivery of the product and beyond, right? And really capturing the and beyond. How do I stay top of mind with my customers? How do I market to them down the road? And, how do I make their great experience turn into more deals for me? And, putting that all together and knowing that every single company out there already does referrals and word of mouth, but they're doing it, what I call old school, right? Google Sheets or a written pad or handing out business cards. How can we utilize technology? How can we use apps to really bring that all together and exponentially, increase the opportunities that are already existing in the marketplace and to capture those whereby you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you're losing because a referral may never, ever come back to you. But how do I capture that information and take that data and then use it to get more deals? So that's kind of what we do.
Give us a couple stats around the problem. We're talking about getting the salespeople to ask for referrals. So what's the problem that we're addressing here?
Yeah, I had, a bunch of door knockers. I had, 5 or 6 in-house sales reps in my solar company. I did sell the company back in 2017. So to focus on Get the Referral. But, while we're doing that, one of the things that really stood out when I started researching about referrals was 91% of people said that if they had a good experience, that they're willing to refer to their friends and family, right? And the key here is only 11% of salespeople ever even ask for a referral. And every time I use that stat, everybody, whether I'm doing a presentation or something, everyone goes, yeah, I see a lot of heads nodding. There's probably a lot of heads nodding right now on the podcast because it's so true. And it's an age old problem that, we try to help you solve. So
we want salespeople to ask for referrals. And obviously we're going to talk about the app a little bit today, but even if you don't use the app, when should people ask for referrals?
What we find and what we saw, and even at my company, is the salesperson is the key, right? They are the window to your opportunity in that they're building a relationship with that customer. The customer's buying the product, your product, not so much for the product. Yeah, it's a good product, it's a good price, whatever the case may be, but they're buying because the salesperson that's in the home appealed to them, right? They said the right things. They feel like they trust them, right? So they're building a trusting relationship from that kitchen table. And you want to build upon that. You want to take advantage of that right now. I have some companies that say, oh, I don't ask for a referral until the very end, till the job is done and they wrote a review. I don't ask for a referral. And what I suggest and what we suggest when we train sales teams is once you get the contract signed, once you have that relationship built, ask right then and there, get that conversation going. They may not have somebody right now, and they may say, I want to see how this thing goes. But you planted a seed. And as they start going through the process and you as a contractor, as a contracting business, roofing contractor, the better experience that you give your customers, they're going to remember this. They're going to remember, oh, wow, I think Jamey said they even pay for referrals. Wow. And then they're at the grocery store and they're telling somebody about their new roof. And they heard that their roof just got ripped off because of the hailstorm or whatever, they're going to refer them, and so that might not come the first day, but get that seed planted early on and often, right? The job is completed. Ask again.
How do you do it? So what is your approach? If you were talking to somebody, how would you do it?
Once again, what we train and what I used to do is, obviously, Mr. Customer, you like our product, you like our service, a simple, do you know of anyone else out there that might be able to use our services? I would love to treat your friends and family like I treated you, and hopefully you enjoyed the relationship that we have. Is there anybody else that you can think of at the top of your mind, now, and as simple as that, just be real, because we're all, we're salespeople, right? We're trying to sell our product and they know that. And if you give them a good experience and they trust you right at that very beginning point, hey, you know what, down the street, I know that they're looking for a new roof. Let me go ahead and let them know about you, or, here's their name and number. Or like I said, it might come down the road, but it's just being authentic is what's really important here.
And I'll just put the little caveat to Get the Referral, the app. Also, here's what your reward would be, and this is how it works, to actually walk them through that at that moment, just real briefly. And we can probably get into the app a little bit because I'm sure people are curious, but
yeah,
it sounds like the biggest problem regarding this is engagement, getting the salespeople engaged, but also getting the customers engaged. And you're talking about how contractors are terrible at communicating from day one sometimes. So this, including the stages of the progress, is how you guys have created adoption for the referral app early down in the process. The way I think of it is basically like a pizza tracker for
Domino's, yeah.
contractors. Yeah. So, I mean, and ultimately we love that Domino's pizza tracker. So
Right.
if you can do that for your construction process, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, just think about, what you do right now as a contractor. You might send an email. You might have 4 or 5 people making phone calls all day, depending on how big you are, letting them know what's going on. Your project manager's trying to reach out. There was an emergency. You had to, divert the truck for an hour. How are you communicating, right? And so the better that you can do that from the point of sale, from once that contract is signed, the more likely they are to have a good experience or a great experience, right? And if they have a great experience, guess what that equals? That equals them becoming a raving fan and willing to then go out, and they want to share that with their other friends and family, because somebody that had a good experience, and I'll take myself into account here. We had a beautiful, pergola built in our backyard, right? And had some people over 6 months after it was built, and I'm like, people ask, well, that thing is beautiful. Where'd you get it done? I go, gee, I don't remember the name of it. And it was a problem because I didn't have a connection to that salesperson. I didn't have a connection to that company other than they came and built the thing and they went away. Right. And it was a pretty quick build, a couple days. I actually had to climb up on the back of it, and they had a little baby sticker in the back. I go, oh yeah, that's the name of them, but that's a bad thing, because you work really hard to get a customer happy. Make sure you stay top of mind with them and in front of them in a very, I don't want to say in your face, but a very subtle way, right? Just gentle reminders. Today's Veterans Day, right? So send out a happy Veterans Day notification. Just thanking them for being a customer. Holidays are coming up. Just simple things like that to stay top of mind, because when that subject does come up with their friends and family, they're going to remember you because of the communication that you've given them from the time that the project started to the delivery or the installation of that project and beyond. So the and beyond becomes very important for a long-term referral partner that is going to not only tell their friends and family, but they're going to share their experience on social media and, utilize technology to do that. So,
and I'll just keep rattling off little value propositions here. We're in the Get the Referral. Okay. If you're a contractor, you're not doing this. We're in that stage of the podcast. Get the Referral. Okay. It's an awesome app. You should definitely try it out. You should definitely get a demo, or it's actually a branded app. It allows you to ask for the review. It integrates with Company Cam. You can reply right in the app. And, just you're talking about the push notifications. It's a communication platform that you texting back and forth basically with your contractor in a way that feels a little bit more modern.
Right.
And that's what we really are up against. We're actually up against 85% of the other contractors that don't have technology that makes them feel modern. And if you can be that modern contractor. So how do we get people to, how do we get your best customers to use the app? If people are already on Get the Referral, how can we make more people want to use it more often?
Yeah, you know what? And you know what I always recommend is making it part of the process. We go back to the questionnaires. How do you get your sales reps engaged? Well, you know, whether you use Get the Referral or not, you need to make sure that they are making, you know, the referral program part of your process, right? They need to do certain things in order to get paid commission, right? They need to check a certain amount of boxes. One of them has to be some sort of, you know, referral program that you institute, you know, because if you're going to just wait for referrals to come in, you know, you're probably going to get 5, maybe 10% of your business is going to come from that. I've seen businesses go from 10 or 20% of business coming from referrals to 60 or 70% of their business coming directly from word of mouth and referrals. Once they have a system in place, they get the sales reps to make it part of the process and to make sure that they, I always use this term, inspect what they expect, right? Set the expectation for your sales reps. This is a checkbox that you need to check off during the process, right? Once that, you know, and that's asking for a referral or just getting something in place that will provide an opportunity for the customer to send you a referral, and then checking that box and incent your sales reps early on. Like if you don't have a program that's formalized right now, incent them in the first 30, 60 days, right? Say, listen, anybody that brings in a new customer, a new referral, we're going to pay you as a self-gen, right? And you're going to get an extra 10% or whatever the case may be. Give them the opportunity to get these self-gens and make it part of that, make it an incentive. And then throw another one on top of that. Say, listen, the sales rep that brings in the most referrals this week, we're going to pay an extra $1,000, right? Or this month, right? I mean, because think about it, these referrals are closing at 50, 60, 70%. There's less people, you know, less competition at the table with a referral. A typical lead that you buy is going to, you know, have 5 other contractors out there. You're fighting against, you know, each other out there. A referral typically has 0, right? You know, you're the one. They ask their friend and they're talking to you because they want the same experience that their friend had. And so, you know, be the first to the table and be the only one at the table. That kitchen table is important. And so referrals is the way to be the one at the table and the only one.
Absolutely. I'll just kind of like talk through a couple of things that we had on our notes here. We were talking about track how they're doing on app downloads. That's one piece to kind of push them in the right direction. And then you're also talking about like knowing your cost per lead, knowing your cost per customer acquisition, and really nailing down this number or this percentage that you're willing to do. I'm guessing through the app, it's often just a specific dollar amount. Is that the case?
Yeah, no, there's several ways you can reward them. You can do a tiered one, like the first one's worth 100, second 200, 300, and so forth. Or you can do a percentage of the job, or you can do a set fee. You can do a bonus after a certain amount of referrals are sold.
What have you seen as the best for roofers so far? Like, what is the most common?
I think the tiered one, because it almost gamifies it to say, hey, if I give you 1 referral, I'm going to get this. But now they're at 3 or 4 and everyone thereafter is going to be at $500 or whatever. So that tiered gives them a little gamification in there. And then they get a report, you know, every month of how many referrals that they've submitted, how many have been sold, and how much they've earned so far. Like we have a payment gateway built right in the app, so you can pay them directly right through the application, and that simplifies it, right? So that allows now the customer to get, and that's another piece of it here, is reward your customers early and often. Just like asking for a referral. Once you get the referral, don't think of it like, well, once I get paid by the bank and everything else, I'll pay. Think of it as marketing money, not referral money. And think of it, hey, I pay $100 for a lead right now. I'm willing to pay $25 if you can get me in front of one of your friends and family and I do a demonstration, right? Or a presentation. Why not pay them for a verified or qualified referral? And then once they're sold, as soon as you know that contract's going through and they're not going to back out, pay that customer, that 250 or 500, whatever amount is that you're willing to pay, do it right away because they get excited about it. And, with our platform, you can there's a wallet in there. They can download it to their bank. We have over 220 gift cards they can choose from. And every time that they're going into their wallet, they're going into your branded app. So that's that top of mind awareness. That's the stickiness of why they're not going to remove the app off their phone. So.
Love it. So I think everybody probably wants this. Like, how do we get started if we want to check it out?
Yeah. So, the key for us is not just to sell a software platform. What we want to do, I come from a sales background years and selling yellow pages years and years ago, right? So, it's all about needs, right? So what we do is, you can, request a demo at getthereferral.com. And then one of our, professional account executives will actually take you through the process. And we really need to understand what your problem is, right? We know the common problem that we talked about, the sales reps, and we have solutions around that. But we also want to find out a little bit more about you and your business and how we can help with that and where it is that, you need some assistance from a technology standpoint and how we can help you do that. So it's all about, the individual needs of the contractors. We take it very personally. I believe this company is only growing because we provide a value, and that value is helping small and medium-sized businesses grow. And, until we stop doing that, that's what we fight for every day is to, make sure that, you get more business because of our platform. So.
Love it. So that's why we probably aligned, because we're very on the how to help people get more business side as well. And, my little thing on my little piece of my pitch for Hook Agency in this is just, I think of what we're doing is expanding the pool of possible referrers, because like we're a lot of times is people that don't know you that find you on Google. That's what we're helping to do. So like, I think of those people as referrers of the future, and if you only build on referrals, it's not good. And if you only built on digital marketing, it would not be good either. You got to do them together and get your cold Google people to then refer you business, and it all builds on brand, right?
Yeah. I mean, what you're saying, Tim, is exactly what we kind of teach and talk about in our presentations is that one lead that you're getting from Google, that you had to nurture at the top of the funnel and come all the way down, that one lead that you paid X amount of dollars to get can now turn into 2 or 3 closed deals because you have a solid process in place by which that happy customer, is able to easily refer, track, and get rewarded for referrals. So every lead that you buy, every Google lead that you get from Hook can turn into 2 or 3. So your return on investment goes through the roof because you have a process in place that ties those two together. And you're not saying you should be just referral based. You need to have that good mix. And that's what you guys do really well. And I know that working together, that's going to give them the greatest ROI.
Love it. And I'm always pushing on referrals too. And like, what are you doing for referrals? I'm always asking that question. What are you doing? You can leave them with something else too here, but for me, the main thing is you need a system for getting more referrals that's carried out consistently.
Yep.
And you do it every single time, and you're evolving that to be more consistent, better, either like offers or better language around that or better system. You should always be evolving that and have some key touch points that happen every single time. So I think just your guys' app basically gives them cheat codes for that almost.
Yeah, we try to, and then that's the thing about us is we continue to evolve as a company. And, everything that you see in the app today, when I first rolled it out for my own company 7 years ago, it's completely different, right? It was very simplistic. Everything that we have in the app now came from our customers, right? Hey, what if we were able to do this? What if we were able to add all of our documents for the customer? What if we were able to, put the review sites in there and the project state? So all of that kind of evolved over time from great, customers that, came up with these ideas collectively. So it's not like we're sitting in a room and coming up with all this stuff. It's like the best practices of over 600 companies that has gotten to this point where we are today.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Appreciate your time. And everybody go to getthereferral.com and get a demo and get on the app. And the podcast is put on by hookagency.com. Hook Agency all over social. Appreciate you guys for watching or listening. Bye.
Thanks, Tim.
Yes, sir.